Do that accent anymore. I've moved on from that. Jesus.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
Hello.
Hello, Doc.
Do you have a favorite scary movie?
You know, I don't really watch scary movies that much. When I want to be scared, I watch Rachel Maddow. I'm in love with Rachel Maddow, and it's okay. I'm married, but it's okay that I'm in love with Rachel Maddow. See, okay, the reason that I'm not. The thing is that pride is kind of antithetical to art. The truth is that I'm trying to show all my nasty bits, all the parts of myself that I'm embarrassed to show. I'm trying to be brave enough to show that if necessary, to be honest. And the moment that you start thinking I'm all that is the moment you become a poser. So I'm kind of like, oh, pride, But the truth is, I'm proud of all of it. Really, I hate to say it, but when I see myself acting on film, I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Oh, it's fine.
Shit.
And Dr. There's Juliet Landau about your face right now, so.
What?
There's something very Juliet. She looks like Juliet a little bit around the eyes. To me.
There's no way.
I just have to say that. Thanks, guys.
Hey, James.
Hey.
I'm trying to decide between two questions. I guess what I want to ask is,
Choose
is
the
there
next
anything,
one.
anything happened in Italy that you'd like to tell about?
Anything about Italy?
You just went to Italy. I was just
Yeah.
curious if anything really interesting or exciting happened while you were there. I know, was it the first time Sullivan had been, or
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah, I got to hang with Sullivan for a while, and that's so good. I'm so lucky. I was telling Sullivan in the car coming to Chicago, if all kids were as easy as you are, then the world would have died of overpopulation. So easy.
I just wondered if you had any really interesting experience, or maybe really embarrassing experience, or something that happened. Or...
No, not embarrassing. I remember I was so tired because I'm doing a play, and plus I'm doing a lot of travel and stuff, and Sullivan wanted to go out on the town, and I'm hanging out with Sullivan and my manager. We're at the piazza having pasta, and it's all cool. And I'm looking over, and there's this Asian family, and the dad is like this. And I'm like, I love that guy. I know exactly how he feels. Because I'm trying to go out and see things with Sullivan, but what I really want to do is take a nap. But what I remember, the take home for me was the David. You know, I fell in love with sculpture. I did a play about Michelangelo when I was in college, and we studied a lot of different sculptors. I fell in love with Rodin. I used to hang out in the sculpture garden of the Metropolitan Museum in Central Park in New York because they would only charge you $0.25 to get in, and I was very poor, and it was basically in the wintertime in New York. It was like you can either stay in your little tiny apartment, which is literally 4 walls, and go insane, or you can get out on the street. But when it's cold in New York, there's no way to get inside anywhere without paying money. So the Metropolitan was a place for me because you could pay $0.25 and they would have to let you in. And they would look at you like, they would give you the pin and you could go in and you didn't have to leave, and you could spend the whole day with Rembrandt and Rodin and all the greats. And I would just hang out and sip ice water in the sculpture garden. And I remember looking at the gates of hell for like a week. And so I've had time with a lot of good sculpture. But I have to say, that beats everything to dust. Like they had the Donatello David also next to it. It looked like a lawn ornament next to it. It was just, as far as sculpture is concerned, there's the David and everything else is crap. I'm sorry, it blew me away. And what was really interesting was, from the perspective that you're supposed to look at it, David kind of looks like, because he just slew Goliath, or he's just about to, or whatever, and he's kind of looking off in the distance, and he's got kind of like a very focused, manly look on him. But then I saw we were passing the gift shop, and they had a close-up of it from eye level, as if you're as tall as David, looking him in the face, and he looks like a gargoyle. It's very different. He looks really mean and just pissed off. But that's not the perspective that you're supposed to. It's not designed to be looked at that level. It's designed to be looked at like that. So, I mean, just genius on so many levels. And also, Sullivan would not leave. He was just like, nope, one more time. I'm not going to come back here very soon. So what? Dad? And he would just make me stay. We just like, Steve and I are waiting. It's like, you know, I dug it. It was awesome, but I'm ready to leave. But no, Sullivan's like, one more time. And he finally said he forced himself to leave because he said unless he forced himself to leave, he never would. Yeah.
Hi.
Hello. I love your tail.
They don't call me Orangey. They don't call me Mama Fox for nothing.
Right on.
My first question is kind of conversation. What would you give advice to a person who is getting bullied? Because I'm supposed to ask this because I'm a youth leader and I've had a lot of kids ask me to ask these questions. And a lot of them love Buffy, and I like Buffy too, and they wanted me to ask you this question.
What do you do with bullies? Man, I got bullied a lot when I was younger.
We have a lot of cases, so I sit down with a lot of them.
Yeah, that's a tough question, you know. As a parent, of course, the answer is beat that kid to the death. Can't do it. The thing that I kept coming back to when I was getting bullied was Rebel Without a Cause. And there's a scene in there, James Dean is coming out of the Griffith Observatory, and there's kids that had just knifed the tires on the rear wheel of his car. And he just kind of goes, damn it. And he goes to his trunk, and he gets out the tire iron, and he just starts changing the wheel in the car. And he just looks at the kid, and he goes, "You read too many comic books," you know. And it was almost like a dad to his son. And that is the only... The truth is that if you show weakness, it gets worse. But that's not really helpful to someone who's getting bullied, because it's like, it's not really, you know, you can't say, well, just don't show weakness. It's simple, you know. But as much as possible, to try to act to the bully like the teachers are acting to the bully. Like, come on, you know, grow up. You know, you don't have to do that. But I don't know if I have an answer for it. It's just tough. You just have to survive, I guess. God, I wish I had a better answer. Yeah.
Well,
But James Dean's pretty good.
I'll make sure to tell this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right on.
The other person that actually answered it, his name, the little guy. Yeah.
Tom Welling. No.
He told me not to tell this, but just punch him.
Just punch him. Yeah, that's another thing too.